So the title I came up for this one is XXYYXXU with an umlaut.
Okay. I was wondering.
I couldn't really think of anything else.
I approve. Dominic approved.
It's Dominic approved. XXYYXXU.
Wait, where's the U come from?
Jack U. The third song.
Oh
is by
shit!
the
Did I
artist
listen?
Jack U.
What?
You
Wait,
Oh
what?
shit! Wait, what songs did you prepare for?
The user generated 16.5.
Yeah. So there's Charles Ives, the Antlers, Jack U, XXYYXX, and Titus Andronicus.
Okay, wait a second. On the playlist on YouTube, the third song is a Skrillex and Diplo song.
Yes. So
that's it.
Their group together is called Jack U.
I just gave away all my street cred for pop electronic music.
We
I had no idea.
We can cut that out.
Okay. No, leave it, man.
Okay.
Leave it raw.
Keep it raw.
Keep it raw.
Keep it real.
Wait,
Yeah.
so they... Okay.
So Skrillex and Diplo started a group together called Jack U.
Okay.
The word Jack and then an uppercase letter U with an umlaut over it. So I don't know how do you pronounce a standalone U with an umlaut over it? Is it oo? Like I don't know.
It's probably something like that.
Jack oo.
Ooh.
Jack oo. So
Okay, that's good to know. Man.
for a second I was like, oh shit, did you like do a different 5 songs?
And for a second I was like, Skrillex and Diplo worked on that. Okay, all right.
So XXYYXX ooh.
Nice.
So
Now it makes a lot more sense, I'll be honest. At first I thought you were just tripping out.
Okay, so hello and welcome to our volume 2 of the listener generated playlist. Please make sure to listen to the 5 songs that you, the listener, picked out that we will be discussing in this week's episode. There will be links to Spotify and YouTube playlists in the description for this episode. Now, I made a liar out of myself.
Per usual.
Yeah.
Come on, Jerry.
Last week I erroneously declared that there would be no more Kanye news corner. And then a bunch of shit happened involving Kanye.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I am bringing it back from the dead.
We're cutting out the wing hut.
So this is...
So we're cutting out the wing
No,
hut?
there's... I even scheduled it. There's still time for wing hut.
Alright.
So here is...
Put the corner before the hut?
The corner. Yes. The zombified Kanye news corner.
Nice.
Back from the dead.
Nice.
So I want to start with the sub segment called Yaychella. I bet you can guess what it might be about.
Coachella, but I actually didn't catch any Kanye news.
So he didn't perform there at all, but he appeared with 3 different people.
Paul McCartney?
Yes.
What?
It was all 3 times.
Yeah.
So for his first appearance is ASAP Rocky brought him out, and they actually performed Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 together. I guess it was a total shit show though. Like Kanye's mic cut in and out for like half the song, and then, so speaking of Jack U, Skrillex / Diplo, the same night they began to, during their DJ set, play Power by Kanye. And Diplo brought Kanye out. Now, I have no idea what this was about. So Kanye comes out, he has a microphone in his hand, and like for 20 seconds he just kind of stares at the crowd. He tries to start to get them to clap, and he has a microphone in his hand, and twice Diplo comes up and says like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Kanye. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Kanye." And after about 20 seconds, he just walks off stage. Doesn't say a fucking thing.
He was their hype man for 20 seconds. Wow.
And the whole time Power's playing, and he's just looking really serious.
I don't think he knows the words to his old songs. I've seen him live.
I'm sure it's like in and out.
He just knows like 5 words randomly throughout the song.
Power.
My guess is that when he came out, he was hoping the mic would be cut off, malfunction, and when he realized it was working, he freaked out.
And his third appearance was actually backstage. There is a video that I think Taco from Odd Future Snapchatted a video of Tyler the Creator and Kanye racing. They do a little 50-yard dash sprint.
Yeah.
Tyler wins, and Kanye blames that someone was in his way, otherwise he would have won.
Did he say anything about... Are Tyler and Kanye, friends?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know...
I wonder what he thinks of his...
I know that after Tyler... Oh, no, maybe I'm thinking of Frank. I know, after Odd Future got big, Kanye and Jay-Z had kind of, talked to the Wolfgang Odd Future group about collaborating, and they were like, no, we want to do this on our own. We don't want your handouts. No offense.
Yeah.
But after Tyler did his rapping over Freestyle 4, Kanye liked it, I know, so...
Nice.
And right before Life of Pablo dropped, Tyler did an impromptu photo shoot with Kanye, and I remember Kanye tweeted one of the photos saying, should this be the cover of the next Rolling Stone magazine? Yes or no was a Twitter poll question. So I guess they must be hanging out.
Nice.
And I know Frank was on Jay-Z and Kanye's, what's the name of that group? Watch the Throne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So that's Yechella. Kind of weird. And so now that he's done tinkering with the life of Pablo, Kanye has moved on to tinkering with older works of his. Fans have noticed that he has been slightly altering some tracks off of Yeezus and re-uploading it to Apple and iTunes.
And just to be clear, is it replacing completely the original track?
At
or there's
least
2 tracks?
On Apple Music, yes.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure other facets that still distribute the MP3, so far as I know, they're not changed. I don't know if Spotify's changed, and obviously if you own the CD or the vinyl.
Yeah.
But
he's gonna come and get them, man.
It wouldn't surprise me.
That seems like a very weird, legal gray area, which I know is another big deal coming up.
Yeah. Well, and the changes he made seem really oddly minor. And again, he hasn't made an official statement about this. This has been fans who have noticed it.
Yeah.
He added more distortion to some of his vocals in the song Black Skinhead, and he removed some of the backing instrumentation in the song Send It Up. So far, that's all anybody's noticed. But yeah, so what you were just alluding to, Kanye and Tidal are currently being sued for allegedly deceiving fans into subscribing to what was being billed as, quote, the only place they would be able to hear the life of Pablo, end quote.
Yeah.
The lawsuit is filed by a guy named Justin Bakerett, and he claims that millions of people signed up for Tidal because West promised it would be the most exclusive place to hear it. It wouldn't be heard anywhere else, and obviously we know now it's Apple, Spotify, everywhere. And Justin is requesting that a judge force Tidal to delete all the data on the users who subscribe to hear the life of Pablo, and argues that the new subscribers and the information could probably be worth up to $84 million to the company.
Wow.
So I've yet to hear a statement from Jay-Z or Tidal or Kanye or any of the representatives, but that's what I know.
Have you
so
heard
far.
how Jay-Z is suing the previous owners of Tidal for falsely advertising how much it was worth? So it's
I didn't even know that. So he bought it. I thought he started Tidal.
I think he I don't know if it was technically called Tidal. We can fact check this, but there was some streaming service that was originally what Tidal is now.
Okay.
And they were trying to sell this to be rich celebrities, and now Jay-Z is suing them for falsely advertising like how much stock it's worth, et cetera, et cetera. So, man, that's a real
Title's
shit
turned
show.
such a shit show, and no one uses it anyway. Like, how can all this drama be?
I don't know a single person
who has a Title subscription.
Yeah, I don't know a single person.
I don't. Everyone I know has Spotify.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people used radio.
Oh yeah.
But I think that service has since shut down.
Yeah.
I know some people use Google Play, but it's mostly Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess in some more lighter news, since everyone's been waiting for a music video to drop from The Life of Pablo and Kanye doesn't seem to deliver, Aziz Ansari and Eric Wareheim have stepped up to the plate and released a video on YouTube which is titled Official Kanye West Famous Music Video.
It's a good title.
Which depicts them in their personas Lil Bud and Big Bud, gallivanting around Italy, eating fine foods, and humping cars.
It's pretty good. I mean, I follow both of them on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure they just like cobbled this together in like an hour based on all the old footage they've been doing, but it's pretty funny.
I was curious as to why they were in Italy. Like, was it simply a vacation? Were they shooting New Master of None? Or is this Lil Bud Big Bud thing actually becoming a real show, I wonder?
Yeah.
Because that quote-unquote pilot surfaced, and I think I think it's Adult Swim affiliated. I'm not positive about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah, I don't know. I know that for some reason he like just happens to love Italy, and he like goes there as a tourist like as often as he can.
Sure.
And I think he's filming part of that second season,
Master of None,
in Italy too.
That would make sense, because like I hate the word foodie, but if someone deserves the title of foodie, it's Aziz.
Yeah.
Like, he seriously goes out of his way to eat very fine foods.
Yeah.
And what better place than Italy?
True. As someone who has very like undeveloped taste buds, it's almost enough to make me unfollow him on Instagram. But I like him too much.
Yeah.
I like him too much. But yeah, he's the foodie.
Just so darn likable. And I guess in our last bit of zombie Kanye News Corner news, it's a little redundant, I guess, News Corner news. Bootleg copies of The Life of Pablo were showing up at some record stores on Record Store Day 2016. Did you hear about this at all?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know how many, but there's a label that is identifying themselves as #Title4All. And I don't know if like the record stores were in on it, but there were vinyl and CD copies of Life of Pablo on clear vinyl and slightly altered album artwork for sale. People bought it, and it's the music.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the vinyl copy isn't pressed from a master, it's pressed from like an MP3, so it probably doesn't have like the most high fidelity of playback, but
it's symbolic.
They've since been like shut down. I think representatives from Def Jam like confiscated all the copies that weren't purchased already.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to Wing Hut. What do you got?
Oh, it's a big week in Wing Hut. We're gonna need 2 huts.
Everyone get your Wing Hut hats on.
I don't know if you heard, but Paul McCartney is gonna be one of the headliners at Coachella. All right?
I did hear that.
Him and Bob Dylan, Rolling Stones.
All the old fogies.
Maybe they're gonna bring the Wings back. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping it's a farewell concert. You know what I mean? That could be really good for him. Just bring him out on a good note.
I feel like a little bit of Real Dominic just broke out right there.
I mean, because if it's a farewell show for Paul McCartney, then he has nothing else to do but Wings. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. What if he gets sucked back into the audio emoji world?
Oh yeah, true. He can do that with Wings.
He could make Wings audio emojis.
Bring the Wings back. Come on. Bring them back.
#Bring the Wings back.
Bring the Wings back. Who's excited about that Coachella? That's like every like dad over the age of 50 is like heading to California.
Yeah, Dylan, Stones, Paul.
Damn. Gonna get a hologram of Jimi Hendrix.
Are all these like old dads gonna like go do acid and wear Indian headdresses like all the other Coachella goers.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. But that's the big wing hut.
That's it for Wing Hut?
That's the big wing hut news.
All right, everyone take your Wing Hut hats off.
We're keeping our fingers crossed. Paul's last show, so he can come back,
Hashtag
fly on the
Paul's
wings of
last show.
wings. Come on. End it.
All right. So in other music news, we have some exciting releases coming up soon. Radiohead allegedly have an album dropping in June. Grizzly Bear are hitting the studio next month to finally follow up their 2012 album
Nice.
Shields. And Death Grips has finally announced that Bottomless Pit, their new album after their alleged last album ever, will be out May 6th digitally, with vinyl and CD pre-orders going up that same day.
Nice.
And I hear they put on quite a Coachella performance as well.
Yeah.
They actually showed up for the show. Surprising, I know.
Nice.
So did you hear about Jack White's latest investment?
I think I saw. I can't remember. I saw some headline about this. Very random.
So Jack White has invested in a company called Warstick, which is an independent sporting goods company that specifically makes wood and metal baseball and softball bats.
Huh.
He's been quoted saying, "Most baseball bats and equipment in the sports world do not impress me much, but I think there's a lot of room to explore aesthetic ideas in just baseball alone that can bring beauty and purpose to the weapon that athletes use to accomplish their goals."
Is he joking?
I don't think so. Like, I do know
Wow.
he is he's famously known. He's a huge baseball fan.
Okay.
I know
okay,
that
alright.
he actually has his own like official rookie card. And I know that he threw like the first pitch at one of the more recent World Series.
Okay.
So he is an
So
avid
he's a real
baseball
fan.
enthusiast.
Wow.
Yeah, so he found this craft artisanal baseball bat company and has put money into it.
Wow. That's a very niche crowd he's going for right there. I
A
gotta
bit.
say, oh my God, baseball. That's kind of like plummeted in popularity. So,
Yeah, since the
So-
1920s.
but that's what it's missing. It's missing artisanal baseball bats.
This is what's
Well,
going to bring it back.
yeah.
It's going to bring the great American pastime
Because
back.
it's all those hipsters that go to baseball games, and they're like, "Where are you find artisanal baseball bats?"
Huh.
He's filling that void. Smart.
Thanks,
Smart.
Jack.
Thanks.
Doing the Lord's work.
I hope he stops making music so we can really just buckle down on this, artisanal baseball bat.
You hear that, Jack? Put the guitar down, pick the bat up, but don't use it. Just make more bats.
Yeah, make it really pretty.
Sorry, pick up your bat making tools, I guess is what I should have said.
Aesthetic.
I don't know, what is that, a block of wood and a whittling knife? How do you make a baseball bat?
Yeah, they better be hand whittling all these, otherwise I'll be.
I'm
upset.
sure.
Yeah.
So, have you heard about all of these musicians and bands boycotting performing in North Carolina?
Yep.
Yeah, so North Carolina recently passed a bill called the House Bill 2, which prohibits transgendered people from using bathrooms or locker rooms that do not match the biological sex listed on their birth certificate. I believe like Bruce Springsteen, some other people. I can't think of anyone that
Paul
comes to
McCartney.
me. Was it really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Many artists have been coming forward boycotting performing in the state as a way to protest this bill being passed. Actually, I read a pretty good are you familiar with Clickhole?
Oh yeah.
Like the Onion
Oh
S.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you
Huge
take
fan,
me in a click.
huge fan of.
So they posted this article saying that off-brand bug spray promises that their products will no longer work in the state of North Carolina until the House Bill 2 is redacted or whatever.
Using their power, man.
So while all of these artists are trying to make this stance about boycotting it, against me, famous acoustic punk group whose lead singer is actually a transgendered person. Her name is now Laura Jane Grace. She says that actually they will be performing in North Carolina as a form of protest. They're going to go out of their way to play there. So she was quoted saying, "I'm going to create an event around the show as a form of protest to say that despite whatever stupid laws they enact, trans people are not going to be," and then she says, "stopped." And they're not going to go away. And I don't know. I think it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. I feel like half the people who are boycotting North Carolina just like didn't want to go there in the first place, and now they're like, "Hey, I can go home for a weekend."
I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure like probably Against Me wasn't going to play a show there anymore.
Yeah,
now they're
exactly.
They're beelining it there as for this. And then in our final piece of music news, it was kind of being speculated for a while, and now it is official. Axl Rose is the new singer of AC/DC.
After a long, hard fight by the fans, finally. That's what we were missing.
Finally get a win. We finally get a win. After previous AC/DC singer Brian Johnston was forced to quit the band due to impending permanent hearing loss, Axl has stepped up to take over the role as their frontman, as well as being the head frontman of the newly reunited Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So he's
taking a lot on. It's a little weird.
Busy.
It's a little weird because like the lead singer, Brian Johnston, doesn't want to stop. He's like complaining every day. He's like screaming on the internet, like, "I don't want to stop playing with my friends."
He actually made an official statement today. Like I just read it like literally right before you came over here to record this. He's finally accepted the fact that he needs to step down for a while.
Did. Okay.
He says in no way does that mean he's going to stop making music. The doctors say he can still like record and put out music.
Yeah.
And he's going to do everything in his power to make it possible for him to perform live in the future.
Wow.
I think he kind of got snubbed a bit by the band.
It's weird because the guitarist,
Angus Young,
he doesn't even play anymore either. He like has like dementia or something. Allegedly, I should say.
Wait, Angus Young?
I'm pretty sure. We'll have to fact check it, but I'm pretty sure he stopped playing with the band like 2 years ago.
Well,
or someone.
Okay, maybe because Angus Young, like the famous lead guitarist of AC/DC, the guy who always wears the little schoolboy
and his
outfit.
Pants fall off while he's playing guitar. I saw this shit live.
He actually performed with Guns N' Roses at their Coachella set.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to. Then I must be wrong. I was secretly relieved when I thought I read that though, because I saw AC/DC live, and there's this like really old guy in a little schoolgirl uniform, and his pants fall off while he's playing, like to be funny, and it was a little creepy. I almost felt like I was being like assaulted.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about it. So when I heard that he was quitting because he had dementia, which now must have been like a clickhole article, I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Or maybe it was like the rhythm guitarist.
I think, but maybe it was a rhythm.
I'm pretty sure the lead guitarist is still like
Angus.
He is like essentially the front man of AC/DC because like AC/DC's gone through like what 3 or 4 lead singers now. Angus Young is like the iconic member of the band at this point.
Yeah. AC/DC, man. Fuck.
So what have you been listening to?
I re-listened. Let me ask you this, not to put you on the spot, but I feel like a lot of people listened to David Bowie's album like a month after he died, and then people just I stopped hearing about it. I'd never listened to it again. Have you been listening to it regularly? I'm guilty of like I listened to it, I loved it, and then I just totally forgot about it.
Well, I guess I should say I'm not the kind of person who it's like, oh, it's that time of month, better put this album on.
Yeah.
Like I'm very much so like, oh, I want to listen to this.
Yeah.
I have listened to it, but I can't say like I've been like regularly listening to it.
Yeah,
but
fair.
I did listen to it like probably a month ago.
Nice. Yeah, for some reason I just like stopped listening to it.
Well, there's so much music.
Yeah, true, but it was weird because I said it was so incredibly good. And then I didn't even like make it a playlist on Spotify. But I re-listened to it lately, and it is incredibly good. I gotta say, it stands the test of time of 2 months.
Did you?
But it is amazing. That's an amazing, creepy, and beautiful album. But it's almost like creepy. It's like otherworldly. Like
it's
like he's halfway in the afterlife.
It's like he's showing us something that we're not supposed to be seeing.
Yeah.
Like he's letting us in on a secret that we're not ready to know yet.
That is the vibe of that. He's like a 21st century prophet of death. He's like there already, like telling us. But it's good.
Did you see that recently? I believe it was the guy who directed Black Star and Lazarus released like a lyric music video for I Can't Give It All Away.
I just heard it. I heard it was out, but I didn't watch it. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like it's more than just a lyric video. There are visuals to it.
Nice.
I'll post it along with this episode. I definitely think it's worth watching. It's kind of like it's a nice kind of like final addition to the Black Star era. I guess.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, that amazing album. That's probably still my favorite of the year of all the new albums. I mean, young year, but
it's not The Life of Papa.
It's a real close.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for David Bowie to remix something.
Okay. Okay. So I actually, based off of what you brought up last week, because I realized that I had yet to listen to Bjork's Valkyria.
Oh yeah,
because initially when it was released it wasn't streamable at all.
Yeah,
and I just noticed today it is finally on Spotify. So actually this morning I listened to it. And damn, that is an emotional album, to say the least.
Yep,
it's incredibly heartbreaking and beautiful, and it. You know, I read about it. I know that it documents kind of the ending of her relationship with Matthew Barnley.
Yep.
And it truly sounds like an album documenting the ending of a relationship.
Yeah, it's heavy. I only heard it once, like a week and a half ago when I first. But yeah, that's.
Did you know that Arca produced that whole album?
I read that too. Yeah, that they've collaborated multiple times.
Yeah, and I guess her next album, she's like. Says like he's going to be even more so involved with the process of it. So that's awesome. Crazy. Yeah, because I read that she did primarily because this album was also kind of a throwback to one of her older albums, Homogenic, because of how much orchestration there was on it.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of orchestration on the album. She primarily scored all of that, and then Arca then came in and did his beep boops and glitches, and it
throw some beep boops.
It goes really well together.
Yeah,
I didn't know this until Bjork actually did the Song Exploder podcast.
Oh, nice.
I think she did it for the first song on the album, Stone Milker.
Yeah.
There's actually an entire version of the album that is just her and in the strings, nothing else.
Wow.
So there's two versions of the album, and you know they both have their pros and cons.
Yeah,
plus and minuses.
Nice. Yeah, her voice is one of the few strong enough that could probably sound good. Just an orchestra accompaniment, nothing else. Damn.
Oh, I also saw recently someone on Facebook posted this old video from the early 90s of her and PJ Harvey doing a cover of I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Wow.
Like a really minimal like I think PJ Harvey's on guitar and she's doing most of the singing. Bjork's kind of backup vocals, and I think she's playing some sort of synthesizer or something.
Nice.
It's pretty good, actually.
Wow.
It's like really slow and kind of dirty sound. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but
kind of raw.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good. And it's live. There's like a huge audience. I don't know if it was like a Bjork show or PJ Harvey show, but it was one of them.
Yeah. She's got a new album out too.
Yeah, she does. I just see that.
Yeah. Haven't heard it though.
Neither have I.
Because fuck music, dude. I hate music.
Yeah, me too.
It's terrible. It keeps coming out. That's what I don't like. There's more than enough. I can never hear it all, and they keep coming out with more.
I made this podcast to just document how much I hate music.
Look, Paul McCartney existed. He made some music, and now we're all done.
It's all been downhill from there.
Exactly, man.
We peaked a long time ago, folks.
Exactly.
Okay, with that, let's move on to our first stupid song that we hate.
Fucking music, man.
Luckily, this song was before Paul, so we were still on the uphill.
Yeah, the pre-Paul. Yeah.
This is a pre-Paul song.
Can we start every song we gotta identify as pre-Paul
And
post-Paul?
post-Paul.
There's no song that's with Paul. Okay, unless we're talking
There's no
Wings.
Paul.
Right. There's
Well,
no
there's-
Paul. Pre-Paul,
Wings is the only
post-Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
Even Beatles is pre-Paul.
Anything with Paul, we don't categorize as music. Right? This is
It's
own
truth.
Yeah, truth. I like that. Pre-Paul, truth, post-Paul.
Yeah. So this pre-Paul song called "The Unanswered Question" composed by Charles Ives, submitted by Amanda Atkins-Johnson, our longtime fan and listener and
Long-time fan.
close personal friend. I
First time caller.
Actually, this is
Second time caller.
I'd say even more than that because
Can't be three.
she's passed along some news stories to me. And she's submitted a song online. I would say this is at least her fourth time calling.
Wow.
Technically fifth because she did recommend
Five.
a genre, but we haven't done it yet.
I think she's doing more work than I am for this show. That's
She is.
Damn.
She's actually
Co-produced?
She's the real.
Wow.
She's the real. Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, Amanda Atkins-Johnson submitted this song, "The Unanswered Question" by Charles Ives, which was a musical work because it was kind of standalone from 1908.
1908. Wow.
Charles Edward Ives was an American modernist composer from Danbury, Connecticut. He is one of the first American composers of international renown, though his music was largely ignored during his life, and many of his works went unperformed for many years. Though over time he came to be regarded as an American original. He is known for combining the American church music of his youth with European art music, and was among the first one of the first composers to engage in a systematic program of experimental music, with musical techniques including polytonality, polyrhythm, tone clusters, aleatoric elements, and quarter tones. An interesting fact, as well as being a composer, he was actually a very successful insurance agent.
That's great.
Yeah, that was actually his day job for
Wow.
most of his life.
Wow.
During his career as an insurance agent, and he actually devised very creative ways to structure life insurance packages for people of means, which actually
Wow.
laid the foundation for the modern practices of estate planning.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wow,
he
that's
wrote
amazing.
a book in 1918 called Life Insurance with Relationship to Inheritance Tax.
Wow.
That was well received, and it actually achieved considerable fame and is now kind of like a industry standard in the insurance world today.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's written some books, so it's not saying
Yeah,
much.
This was
That's
this was a
amazing.
pre-Paul world.
Yeah, it's a wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
but at the same time, sadly, he kind of had this Vincent van Gogh-ness of him where he wasn't really recognized as the artist he was until after he had passed on. His music was largely ignored during his lifetime, particularly during the years in which he was actually actively composing. Many of his published works went unperformed even many years after his death, which was in 1954. And his musical experiments, including his increasing use of dissonance, were not well received by his contemporaries at the time. And furthermore, he actually composed very difficult pieces. Many people found the pieces very difficult to perform, and that the rhythmic complexities in his major orchestral works made them daunting challenges even decades after they were composed. Like, for example, when he was 17, he composed a series of organ pieces called Variations on America, which was actually like these variations on the song My Country 'Tis of Thee, which even by today's standards, modern professional organists have a challenging time playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, according to his wife, one day in early 1927, Ives came downstairs from writing in his room with tears in his eyes, saying he could compose no more and that nothing sounds right. And then other than revising some of his previous pieces, he actually never wrote a new piece of music until he died of a stroke in 1954.
Wow.
And I was doing some research on Wikipedia. There's actually this phenomenon with people who compose music of like sometimes they just hit this point where it's like, I'm done. There's nothing left.
Exhausted it.
Even not that I'm exactly comparing him, but famous punk rocker Henry Rollins has stated similar things where he's like, he will still perform old songs, he will still cover other people's songs, but he has nothing left to say musically. Like he's like, I'm never gonna write a new song again. There's nothing left up in my head. It's all, I tapped out.
Wow.
I used all the oil. It's all gone.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like Steve Martin. He did most successful stand-up comedian, and then he just said, I'm done. That's it. I have no ideas left. I had one concept. Now it's stated, and I'm done.
Now he just banjos the fuck out of
Yeah,
everything.
that's interesting. Yeah, fuck.
It's almost like maybe there really is like a realm of ideas, and there's like a finite amount of like artistic merit you can pull down from the sky until you're just like reaching for nothing.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just like they came up with such a good idea once, and it was so rare that then they realized that everything else I've ever thought up until this point is so stupid. And it took 50 years to hit this thought. I'm never going to hit it again.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Like, look at like Jeff Mangum. He hasn't done anything since In an Aeroplane Over the Sea, which was like, what, 1998?
Yeah.
He keeps performing songs off of it, but I mean, if I were him, I would be afraid to write something new. The amount of expectation, like, sorry,
they need
tangent.
to get over it, man. They need to get over it. Come on.
So this song, The Unanswered Question.
The Unanswered Question.
So
I like that title.
It's a great title.
Yeah, it's a good title.
Did you look into this at all, or you just listened to it?
I've never heard of Chuck before, never heard of this song. So yeah, I didn't research it. No.
So before I get too into it, I'll give you a little bit of background. So it was originally paired with another song. So this song and another song he composed called Central Park in the Dark were released together as a series called Two Contemplations. Even though the song was written in 1908, it actually was not performed until 1946. So that just kind of shows you how...
Damn, just stayed on paper.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it was highly influenced by the New England writers Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. And it's believed that the title actually came from a line in an Emerson poem called The Sphinx, which was written in 1847. The line it was taken from is "Thou art the unanswered question."
Thou art the unanswered question.
This is a piece scored for 3 groups: a string ensemble, a solo trumpet, and a woodwind quartet. And a little interesting note about when it's performed. If you're following the standards that Charles set forth, all 3 groups need to be playing in a way where they can't see each other. If it's possible. They're supposed to be kind of angled in such ways where they can't see each other, and actually the strings are supposed to be completely off stage, unseen by the audience.
Really?
Yes. Because they're all playing in kind of independent tempos of each other.
Yeah.
So before I get any more into it, I'm curious as to because my thoughts on this song were tainted by my research.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to you, who just literally listened to it. What do you think of this song?
I was shocked that it's from 1905 because it sounded very. I thought it was a fantastic song. I thought it was almost. I'm not sure what makes music cinematic in particular, but it sounded like it could have been like in like Inception or in some sort of like weird psychological. Like the score to something very like unsettling, almost like horror. But in 1905, I mean, I don't think if there were movie scores, they probably just sounded like just a bullshit merry-go-round stuff. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I was amazed because I did look, or I think it said on the YouTubes it said 1905, so I knew it was old. But yeah, I was amazed at how experimental, and it was like I just wrote it's like a tonal image. It's like a very complex tonal image you get. That's pretty amazing.
Sure,
especially compared to what we listened to last week.
Yes,
that's like
the Mother Goose song,
which are both good, but where that one was just this symphonic nesting of sound. This is like almost a violent like juxtaposition of sounds. So yeah, I thought it was great. I love this song. I thought it was really good.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know why it's known for this, but this song is known for being mistakenly credited as being written in 1906 or 1905, but it was actually written in 1908.
Oh, 1908.
I don't know why that's like significant or people talk
I saw
about
1905
it,
too.
Yeah. All right, so I completely agree with you. I guess I did listen to this song multiple times prior to reading more about it, but I didn't take notes on my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I feel similar to you.
Yeah.
So there's actually a bit of a narrative that goes along with this piece. And actually when it was performed, there was a book that kind of explained a bit of a story that the audience was supposed to read prior to hearing the song.
Really? Wow.
So here is Ives' narrative for this piece. Throughout the piece, the strings sustain slow tonal triads that represent the silence of the druids, who know, see, and hear nothing. Which kind of makes sense because they're kind of like doing this constant drone that's very independent of the other sounds.
Yeah, it's slow and deliberate.
Yeah.
It's
and
cute.
that's why it says they know and see and hear nothing. They don't react or respond at all to the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Now, against this background, the trumpet poses a non-tonal phrase 7 times, which Ives calls the perennial question of existence. So the trumpet...
Damn. And this guy was a fucking insurance salesman?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the trumpet 7 times throughout the song pretty much asks, like, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of existence? To which the woodwinds try to answer at least 6 times. And every time they answer, it gets increasingly erratic in their response.
Mm-hmm.
The woodwinds' answer represents fighting answers who, after time, realizes a futility and begin to mock the question before finally disappearing, leaving the question to be asked once more before the silences are left to their undisturbed solitude. So as you've probably noticed, there is kind of a call and response going on between the trumpet and the woodwinds, and the woodwinds get more and more chaotic and angry every time they respond. And it's kind of unhearable by the ear, but the trumpet, minus the 7th time it asks the question, does get progressively louder every time it asks the question.
Nice.
So I liked the song the first time I heard it, and then after hearing this narrative and listening to it, I really like the song. I don't think... I mean, I'm not saying I have an ear for classical music, but after hearing his explanation, like, I literally felt kind of like a light bulb go off over my head, like, oh,
nice.
This actually really makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a nice
It's incredibly beautiful. It's also very curious. And I'm not sure I've ever listened to anything that was so conflicting. The strings are like incredibly soothing, yet there's like this like anger of the woodwinds, and even the trumpet. The trumpet is like eerie as hell. Like like taps. Eerie, but even more eerie than taps. Like it's just like it's so off-putting.
It's very disruptive. Very.
Like I don't know if I'd say this about many songs or pieces of music, but this is a very successful piece of music.
Yeah,
I guess is the way I could put it.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And yeah, the way that the strings basically maintain themselves throughout adds a layer of like almost like creepiness and uneasiness as the other horns like get louder and louder. Something about it kind of reminded me of like Eyes Wide Shut.
Definitely.
Have you seen that Stanley Kubrick where
Ding,
exactly the whole movie he's like going throughout and you hear the dun, 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 just like a kind of jarring tonal like almost question mark on the movie.
The unanswered question.
Yeah, the unanswered question, which I thought only knowing the title I was like, oh, that's a great kind of I love the title just because there's something in there that sounds extremely curious, like you said,
and you never get the answer to it.
Yeah, you never get the answer. And again, that song last week, it was just a sort of beautiful symphony of sound that was like moving in unison to create something that is so complex, but you could be just simply listen to it. This is almost, there's not that many layers of sound per se. There's the strings doing the same thing. There's the trumpet, there's the woodwinds, but it's extremely almost visceral and complex. It is just, I haven't heard that many classical, I don't listen to classical music a lot, but I haven't heard many that just like feel like they're just like kind of violently like sticking you with like some like tonal image, like
see this,
like at that,
feel this
at 350 mark when the woodwinds first get especially loud. It's almost like fucking like horror movie. It's like shot. It's like kind of startling because you're so lulled into the strings and the trumpet just being this kind of atonal, creepy, and then by
the end it's like you're like scared almost.
Yeah, honestly,
like, it was like you feel like you did something wrong and you're being yelled at.
It's like I wrote. It's kind of like there's like a easy nostalgic feeling going on with the strings that's occasionally like haunted by some like terrible repressed memory. That's what it feels like. It's like I'm dreaming and having a nice dream and there's something slowly creeping into it that's like gonna fucking kill me. So I thought it was great in a great way. I was extremely
I thought it was gonna kill me in the best way possible.
And it's a good way to say it. It's a successful.
It's a very successful.
It's a statement. There aren't that many songs you can say it's a statement of something.
This is one.
Yeah, this is one. That's a good way to say it. It's successful.
All right, with
great
that,
song.
We will move on to our second pre-Paul song, or post-Paul song.
Post-Paul.
Our second song, which is a post-Paul song. Sylvia by the Antlers, submitted by host of the Game Cave podcast, John Miller. This is off the 2009 album Hospice. The Antlers is an American indie rock band based in Brooklyn, New York. Their name was taken from a song by the band The Microphones. The song is called Antlers. And it originally began as a solo project of vocalist and guitarist Peter Silberman. And this, their third album, Hospice, the one featuring this song, marked the beginning of the project's shift from a solo project into a full band incarnation. They originally released Hospice independently, but sold out every copy of the album they had in stock, and eventually signed with the label French Kiss Records and re-released a remastered version of the album to critical acclaim.
Nice.
Pitchfork labeled the re-release Best New Music, as well as naming it number 37 on their list of best albums of 2009.
Nice.
Praising its power to emotionally destroy listeners. NPR Music placed the album in the number 1 position for their top 10 of the early 2009 list.
Nice.
And it has an overall Metacritic ranking of 83 out of 100.
Shit.
Hospice is a concept album telling the story of a relationship between a hospice worker and a female patient suffering from terminal bone cancer, their ensuing romance, and the slow downward spiral as a result of the woman's traumas, fears, and disease. In an interview with Silberman, he explains, basically, what I would say about the album is I would say this for the sake of anyone who would listen to it. It's about an experience I had in a very emotionally abusive relationship and then pulling myself out of that and the effect it had on my life at the time. A hospice can be a representative of what emotional and psychological abuse can do. Let's say as a hospice worker, you're taking a lot of verbal abuse from someone who is dying because they're absolutely and rightfully so bitter about what's happening and feeling like it's completely unfair, which it most obviously is. And you're in the position of feeling like you have no right to complain about your situation because it's so much worse for them. So you think the least I can do is give them a punching bag. And that's kind of also the sentiment of this song specifically.
Wow.
In the liner notes of the album, it's revealed that actually every song on this album has an alternative title to it. So this song, Sylvia, its alternative title is Sliding Curtains, Shining Children's Heads. And the alternative title kind of brings some ambiguity into it as to question whether Sylvia is an adult woman or a child.
Yeah.
Because shining children's heads makes you think of like a little kid with leukemia, probably. But some of the other aspects of the album kind of make it seem like it's more of an adult.
Yeah.
So there's kind of an ambiguousness as to who Sylvia is.
Yeah.
Silberman has cited Leonard Michael, an author who wrote a book called Sylvia, as an inspiration for this album and this song. The novel is a fictionalized account of Michael's relationship with his ex-wife, Sylvia Bloch, focusing on the young couple in the 1960s suffering from a destructive and poisonous relationship that ended with Sylvia committing suicide. And actually, in this song specifically, there's a line, Sylvia, get your head out of the oven, which is actually a reference to the American poet and novelist Sylvia Plath, who famously committed suicide by sticking her head in the oven and turning on the gas.
It's a fucked up way to go.
Yeah. This song documents Sylvia's rage with her situation, her violence directed towards all of those around her, and her attempts to take her own life, while the caretaker wants to be there for her any way he can, even if that means taking the brunt of the abuse. Did you watch the music video for this?
Yeah, it's kind of like it reminded me of like a old Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah,
because it's shot kind of in that way, and there's the classic scene where he's in the cabin and the two are fighting. So yeah,
and it's kind of got that like sped up sepia look to it.
Yeah.
So the video depicts a sepia-drenched and vignetted settler-era man eating by himself and being haunted by what seems to be the ghost or the memory of a woman. Both times she appears, they get into an argument quickly, and every time he goes to reach for her, she disappears, and it's kind of all juxtaposed with shots of her slowly running away in a field from a first-person perspective. I don't mean to be mean, but it was a pretty bad music video. It looked cheaply shot.
It looked like something like a freshman film student would make. Yeah,
like there's
class.
lo-fi, and then there's just like, come on.
It was like he found like the two like cool filters that he loves to like make a video.
Yeah.
And it was
this makes it yellow, and this makes all the borders dark.
Exactly. Yeah. Go to work. Yeah.
So what did you think of this song, minus the music video?
Yeah, I thought it was a good song. I mean, I don't know if there's the subject matter has been done so many times. Just the basic, a tough relationship. But it did, I gotta say, I was impressed with the kind of lyrics and the kind of, trying to do something different with the music, that kind of warped fuzz drone that's like twisting into the chord progressions throughout. So I liked it. It was almost a song that I wouldn't have liked, but listening to it a couple times, I actually really did respect the song. I really did.
Yeah, I really liked that kind of droning, glitchy noise at the beginning of the song. Like, it almost kind of sounded like feedback, but then you realize, like, it was actually musically going along with
Yeah,
the
it
rest
was
of the song.
Yeah, which is really well done. I gotta say, I was impressed.
I really liked that. I really liked how quiet and soft his vocals are during the verses.
Yeah.
Like almost like inaudible.
Yeah.
Like you almost have to strain
See,
to
yeah,
hear
that's
him.
yeah, because it's almost like apocalypse. It's like a love tension song with like apocalyptic winds blowing,
Yeah.
and you almost can't. I wrote that too. How you almost can't make out the lyrics, which at first listen kind of annoyed me, but after a couple more listens, I actually really liked it. I thought it had a nice like effect overall, like kind of sonic.
Because like especially after reading the lyrics, like there's a line where he talks about like, my voice is the only thing you hate, or something about like how my voice inspires hate in you.
Yeah.
So like the inaudible vocals really kind of lend to this narrative of like he's afraid to talk around her.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy the post-rock-esque crescendo that is the refrain, the explosion of emotion.
Yeah.
I like everything about this song, even more so after kind of reading about it and learning the meaning. But there's just something about his vocals during the refrain. He's like,
Yeah.
I totally understand, he's straining his voice as a way to kind of show the emotional intensity of the narrator, like screaming for Sylvia to calm down.
Yeah.
But there's just something about like it's Sylvia, like I hate it.
Yeah.
I fucking hate. Like I love everything about this song, but it's like
He's really pleading,
you're
overly pleading.
You're going way too far out of your range, and it's distracting to me.
And I gotta say, it is especially jarring on maybe first listen to when the vocals are distorted when he's singing within his range, and then you can more clearly hear him kind of strangulating out a call for her. Yeah. Which I mean, you either kind of feel the emotion with him, or it sounds like he's trying a tad too hard. I could see.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just ruined by like new metal and emo music, where it's like I just wish he was screaming instead.
Yeah.
But it's just like the fact that he's trying to be so intense while still singing. It just
why?
sounds kind of like a joke to me almost.
Yeah.
And I don't want to laugh at it because I can't say it enough. I think this is a great song. And I think it's very successful, like on conveying this emotionally intense situation. But there's just something about his vocals during the refrain that I can't take seriously because of like how hard he's trying.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can respect it, but
yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't think it bugged me as much, but I could see that. I thought, overall though, I thought it was a pretty, again, to tackle. It was 9 times out of 10 this sort of song would probably fail in my head, but I was like, that was actually a pretty interesting kind of sonic statement that added something a little new, and it had some pretty good lines too. I only talk when you are sleeping. Kind of taking on sort of metaphoric, ideas by the end. So I thought, it was good. It was good. The video, I wouldn't quite recommend watching the video.
Don't watch the video.
Because you're just going to think that this is like a really pretentious like theater kid, first year of college with a camera.
Intro to film.
Yeah. But no, I was impressed.
No, and I will say, I definitely want to like hear the rest of the album now. Like,
yeah,
I want to hear it within
never
the context of the narrative.
Never heard of him before. Antlers.
I've always meant to check him out because actually the person who submitted the next song, I believe, gave me 2 of the Antlers albums when we were in college together.
You never listened to him?
I'm sorry to admit this to you, but I don't think I've like ever listened to him.
You better not edit this out. Don't edit this part out, man.
Sophie, I'm sorry.
Don't give this guy any more
But here
music.
we go.
Giving Jared music is like throwing it in the trash.
Because I hate music.
Because he hates music.
I hate music. So I'm sorry, Sophie. To make it up to you, I will talk about the song you submitted. The song Mind, featuring, I don't know how to say your name, Kai. Kai.
I knew a guy.
So the song is Mind, featuring Kai by Jack U, or as Dominic believes, Skrillex and Diplo.
That's the impression
Song
I was on there.
submitted by Sophie Buchite. Buchite.
Sophie Buchite.
Buchite. You could also pronounce it Buchite. I'm sure she loves
Buchite.
that.
Boucher?
It's Austrian, Dominic.
Okay.
Buchite. Buchite. So this is off the 2015 album. Skrillex and Diplo present Jack U. Jack U is an American DJ duo / side group / collaborative project consisting of Diplo and Skrillex.
Those two.
Diplo, also known as Thomas Pence, is an American DJ, record producer, songwriter, and founder of the record company Mad Decent. As well as Jack U, he is also a member of the group Major Lazer, who is known for their mixing of EDM styles with those of reggae and dancehall. Interesting fact, as an artist, Diplo, combined with his collaborations Major Lazer and Jack U, had the most number of Shazams in 2015.
Like the Shazam?
As in, like, when you click it
what
to
the
like
fuck
figure
is
out
this song?
Yes.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Which I guess is
I love that
becoming
stat.
like a standard for like success.
Yeah, that's a particular type of success. I don't know who the fuck
more people than anybody else was wondering who the
who
fuck
the
is
fuck
this?
and cared enough to pull out their phone.
Yeah.
Wow. I could see that though.
Yeah. His other big claim to fame is he was a major collaborator with MIA with their highly successful track Paper Planes,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of put everybody on the map.
Yeah.
And Skrillex, aka Sonny Moore, is an American electronic music producer, DJ, singer, songwriter, and founder of the record label Owlslaw. OWSLA.
Everyone's got their own record label. There's how many
Especially in
record
like
labels
the EDM world.
Jesus, man.
He first came to fame, and this is how if you want to like track back everything about Skrillex, like this is where Skrillex came into my life, was through the post-hardcore emo band From First to Last. In the early 2000s, he put out 2 albums with them before leaving the group in 2007 to pursue his solo career. He is famously known for popularizing the bro step genre as well as the side shaved head hairstyle.
Wait, does he embraces bro step as a label?
As a joke.
Okay,
Actually,
okay,
when
okay.
he finally put out... So, he put out many singles, 3 EPs, before he actually put out an official Skrillex LP, which was called Recess. Came out 2 years ago now. And the first song off that album was called All Is Fair in the Love of Bro Step, of Art and Bro Steps. It was All Is Fair in the Art and War or whatever.
Yeah. Love and bro step. All is fair in love.
All is fair in love. Yeah, all is fair in love and bro step. So he basically took an obscure genre called dubstep and added a very distinct sound to it, which people have been jokingly referring to as bro step, and he's kind of known for popularizing it. This is their first and only album, Skrillex and Diplo Presents Jack U, and it is a dance and trap infused album featuring collaborations with a range of artists including Kiza, Luna George, 2 Chainz, Missy Elliott, Justin Bieber, and the upcoming producer Snails. J-Beebs. The album won the Grammy Award for Best Dance and Electronica Album of the 58th Grammy Awards, as well as receiving the Grammy Award for Best Dance Recording for their song Where Are You Now, featuring J-Beebs. Where are you now that I need you? Boop, boop.
I gotta hand it to Bieber. When I hear songs on the radio, they are slightly less annoying than they were like 5 to 8 years ago.
Finally...
He's less annoying.
Like, slightly, except now
I
he's
gotta
like,
give him that.
now he's like trying to like. Have you seen this shit?
The
He's like,
Kurt Cobain
He's like trying to
stuff?
become Kurt Cobain now,
That seems like I'm looking at like
Which-
The Onion, but
which
that's
might
real.
actually kind of work because I'm sure most of the people that listen to him don't even know who the fuck Kurt Cobain is.
I thought you were gonna say because most people hope he kills himself. Well, you didn't go there. All right.
God. Yeah, except he's trying to do like this like weird Kurt Cobain with dreadlocks thing.
It's weird. It's very weird.
So the album entered the Billboard 200 chart at number 26, selling 14,000 copies during its first week of release. And Jack U had over 9.6 million Shazams in 2015.
Wow.
I like I said, I guess this is a thing now.
I assume that's
Shazams.
like a hard stat to keep up, though, because eventually, right, people are going to know who you are. Or maybe the fans just keep Shazamming.
Well,
you
the
know?
thing is
Shazam
I know
campaign.
Shazam is trying to incorporate other features where, like, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but, like, if you go to a movie at a movie theater and it's like Shazam now to find out more information about this thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think they're trying to, like, add other facets of Shazam other than what is this song.
Yeah.
I don't know if that played a part in the 9.6 million Shazams or not.
Could be.
But could be. Pitchfork's Corbin Globe had this to say about Jack U. Jack U, the long-rumored EP in partnership between EDM heavyweights Diplo and Skrillex, is roughly the sum of its parts. Skrillex's frantic drop-heavy monoliths, paired with Diplo's frequent attempts at world music curation, and a general boner for eclectic collaboration.
A general boner?
Boner.
Wow, that's...
While some of Jack U soars above reasonable expectation, it mostly registers as fun, low-stakes affair with its finger often too close to the button. In general, Jack U is a massive-sounding, stuffed to the brim with snares, clipped vocal samples, and colossal Skrillex starter set wub-wub-wub-wub bass drops. But Skrillex and Diplo carve out enough space for lower-key, fun-loving moments. Above all, this is maximalist party music that captures a specific moment in time. Jack U is nothing but a foot-stomping, outrageous EDM, the kind that basically serves as a security deposit for a $75,000 a night residency in Vegas. While Jack U doesn't exactly roll the ball forward or do much else to make listeners rethink the principal actors here, it's dumb, loud fun from two architects of the dumbest, loudest fun of the 2000s.
That's the most, like, begrudging hipster hat tip I've ever read.
A tip of the fedora.
It's like, all right, boys.
I'm going to tip my fedora, but I'm going to pop a blood vessel while I do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So this song, Mind, like I said, features the Canadian singer-songwriter Kai, who's from Toronto. She has collaborated with Diplo, Childish Gambino, Flume, as well as Jack U, and is currently slated to put out her first solo EP sometime this year. And this song is pretty much about love, like, stupid love. It's about nothing. This song is about nothing, but I really don't think that's the point. There's a music video for it that kind of shows the three, Skrillex, Diplo, and Kai traveling all over the world and performing the song, and it's very nicely shot. So yeah. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, easy thing first. The lyrics are just popcorn lyrics. That's the only thing I'd call them.
That's why I say it's about nothing.
Yeah, they're popcorn lyrics. You put them, you eat them. They do nothing for you. No nutritional value. You're just doing it to, like, metabolize while you listen to the song. The lyrics are, they're just generic. Just kind of, oh, you love me, begging for me, hold me close, I want to hear your heart stuff.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how.
But I gotta say, I don't know Skrillex or Diplo particularly well. I will say that my impression was the lyrics could have been a little bit more thought could have gone into them. I mean, that was strange. I thought that was very strange. I thought that some of the beats sounded a little generic. I thought sometimes the electronic experimentation sounded a little, like, loopy, silly, but throughout there were very, very good, very interesting sounds that I thought had, like, a ton of potential in their own right, but they just kind of kept moving on too fast and then, like, going back to an old sound. So that was I like it, and there were parts I liked and parts I didn't. But the parts that were good were some fantastic, like kind of distorted vocals with the kind of reverb and otherworldly laid on top of just clear, like a vocal soprano. I was impressed.
Like, so here's my opinion. Kai's vocals, by the books, they're well performed, but overall, they're kind of boring. Like, any parts where she's singing, both her and the music, it's forgettable.
Yeah.
The guy that sings, that's actually Skrillex singing. That's Sonny singing the I'ma Show You How to Love.
Yeah, I saw that in the music video.
From the second he sings to the instrumental that follows it, that is where I think this song shines.
Yeah.
Like, it is gold. Like, I've listened to this album, Jack. I'm a big Skrillex fan. I really like Skrillex. I'm sorry if everyone unsubscribes from this podcast now. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say or a good thing at this point, but
I have no idea.
I like Skrillex a lot.
Nice.
From him singing to that, first of all, this is probably the best song off this album, if you ask me. I know a lot of people like the Where Are You Now, but this is my favorite song, and that part is worth sitting through the forgettable stuff.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good. I didn't know he could sing till I saw the music video. And yeah, I thought, that was good. That was, yeah.
Well, yeah. So, like, sorry, what were you gonna say?
And yeah, I mean, there are. Yeah, I am a big stickler for lyrics, and I just could not get past why you would even have lyrics that were so like meaningless. But yeah, to me, it had some periodically great kind of electronic experimentation, and then, I would agree, it was kind of at its most like confident as a song. It's most assertive when he was singing for that kind of melody.
And he's singing, and then the instrumental after that, like that. No.
Yeah.
That noise.
Yeah.
That pop. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, the thing I will say about it is, I can't help but like bob my head to this song. Like, this song is so well produced. Like, even if it's generic, horrible EDM music, Skrillex and Diplo are probably like the kings of their trade.
Yeah.
They're gonna put out a great sounding song, even if you hate the song.
Yeah.
So it's like my head will bob to it, even if I'm trying to stop it from bobbing to it.
No, I can.
At the same time, this song is void of any form of true emotion. It is just plastic. It's like, we need to throw lyrics on top of this because that's like it's very like
for the
formulaic,
like
A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
This sound plus female singer equals banger.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel like assembly line, but it
has some great. I gotta say that's kind of what I felt like. Like, it was kind of this. It had parts that were just assembly line built that had periodic flashes of very fantastic music that I'd like to hear more of. And like, I think especially the way they kind of like mess with vocals, like that away. I'm not sure what they're saying in the beginning. It's like and it's like distorted and echoed. Away. Even that, I was like, that's a nice kind of like sonic sound. I can't deny they have a very good ear for capturing unique sonic sounds, but sometimes it feels like they're just sprinkling great sounds on top of an assembly line. So.
Well, let me take you down a slight tangential wormhole.
Yeah, by all means.
So if you're interested in this kind of phenomenon of these kind of like recognizably human vocals, but that are distorted to the point of like, I don't know what they're saying, but it's obviously human vocal.
Yeah.
Go listen to more Skrillex music, because his music is full of that. But if you're really curious into that like unintelligible stuff, you need to look to Skrillex's biggest influence, and that is Aphex Twin.
Okay.
Aphex Twin music is littered with this like, you can't even tell if it's like, is it a computer emulating a human voice? Is it a human voice that's chopped up? And Skrillex took that and incorporated it into his bro step, dubstep stuff. And now he's lightly sprinkling it over this collaboration with Diplo.
Yeah, which I guess you could say he's the worst thing you can say is that he's taking great stuff and reducing it to something more generic, but at the same time I don't know if that's fair. I'm divided on this song. You could also just say he's channeling it into pop sensibility, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because right? I mean, he's introducing this kind of like sonic palette to a wider audience by combining it with the sounds that people like to hear. And I like the song overall. I did. And
I totally agree. And whatever we think, they're rich and successful as fuck. So who cares what we say? They're doing something right.
Yeah, I guess because my only qualms at times were like, I wish he would just take some of the. Basically, I was like, the parts that kind of sound like Aphex Twin. I wanted to like hear
make it more experimental.
Yeah, exactly. More of that, and like have the lyrics like at least pretend to mean something. But that's kind of, maybe that's not even a fair complaint for
No, I totally feel the same way.
But those guys have a great ear. I will admit, they have a great ear.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a complicated relationship with Sonny. I've been a fan of his since like early high school, and I followed him through this journey of music, and like I've known ever since he was like in his emo stage. He was like a fan of Aphex Twin, and actually he recorded 2 albums with From First to Last, and by the second one he started to try to incorporate Aphex Twin aspects into it, which was a little weird. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And between Skrillex and From First to Last, there was this brief period where he was trying to go as this solo artist just named Sonny. And I think it was the best stuff he's ever done.
Nice.
It kind of had the abrasive crescendo dubstep feel of Skrillex.
Yeah.
But with extremely surreal and abstract vocals.
Nice.
So first of all, I like his voice. Second of all, very deep, cryptic lyrics.
Nice.
On top of like abrasive dubstep music. And then he went full Skrillex, and he stopped singing. His voice shows up briefly in his music sometimes.
I was shocked to hear him sing, because I was like, wow, he can actually
he's a great
sing.
singer, and he so sparingly puts it into his Skrillex music these days. Like anytime there's a song that he pops in, like it's instantly I know that's why Sophie submitted this to me, because like Sophie and I think also Amanda, the who submitted our first song, we're all kind of like this little trio that are like, bring back the sunny stuff, the middle stuff, because we loved this like weird like in between zone.
Yeah.
I know Sonny's having a ton of fun. He's very successful being Skrillex, but if he like reeled back on the mainstream a little bit and put a little more of the experimentation in, I would be a happy camper.
Yeah.
He's not playing to me. He's playing to his audience. So.
Yeah, no, hey man, when you're in the light, you don't want to get out of the light.
Great song overall.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised. It's
not amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say it had
great parts.
It has great parts. It had great parts, and it had okay parts. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next song, About You by XXYYXX, submitted by I think someone you might know.
Who?
I think her name is Sasha Haymaker.
Yeah, that's right. Sasha Haymaker. Shasta Haymaker.
Sarah Haider, the wife.
That's right.
Of Dommy Jugs.
She gets the honor being DJ Dommy Jugs' significant little ICP boo. Shout out to my little...
You're lucky that she doesn't listen to this podcast.
And she never will.
She never will if I have it my way. She submitted
shout out to my little insane clown.
My little insane clown. My juggalette full
my
life.
Juggalette, that's it. Yeah.
This is off of XXYYXX's 2012 album, XXYYXX. XXYYXX, aka Marcel Everett, is an electronic musician and record producer from Orlando, Florida, who rose to prominence riding the crashed waves of the Witch House movement, using Illuminati-esque imagery and slowed down R&B beats to create his sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
His style has been likened to that of Calm's Casino, Zombie, Burial, James Blake, The Weeknd. He's very successful, and what makes it even more frustrating is he was just 13 years old when he started making music.
Wow.
He was 16 when this breakout album XXYYXX came out.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
he still can't legally drink, and he's
Wow.
a very successful electronic musician.
That's fucking amazing. Wow.
There's a lot of interviews with this guy. He's pretty funny. He comes out to like a lot of his shows like wearing bathrobes and eating carrots, and like when he finishes his snack, he'll finally start playing music. He's got a great sense of humor.
Nice.
But there's not a lot of information out about him, which I've kind of noticed with a lot of these post-Witch House, post-Vaporwave, post-Chillwave, post-internet genres.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, they're all these young kids, so just, they're not like Bowie or where there's just like a tome of history on them.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think it's kind of just like this focus on the music, don't focus on me sentimentality.
Yeah.
So I know he's a kid, he makes beats, he's really good at it. He makes all of his music out of his bedroom using FL Studio and Ableton Live.
Yeah.
This song in particular samples two songs, a reverse and slow down sample from the Zircon/Jillian Aversa's song Just Hold On and Beyonce's End of Time. There is a music video for this song which features a bunch of girls smoking drugs in slow motion, and when if you can call it the bass drops, when the synths get a little more intense, all of a sudden they're all wearing a rubber fox mask, but still just smoking drugs. That's pretty much it. What did you think of this song?
I mean, I'm biased, obviously. I mean, since Sarah's heard it, I've heard it on occasion too. And yeah, I liked it. I mean, so I'm biased. I like this song a lot. And before, she picked it, I'd heard it many times. A reason I like it in particular is that there's a lot of psychedelic music that I like, but the slow psychedelic song can either be great or terrible. And I'm thinking like Animal Collective, they have like 10 slow songs that come to mind, and half of them I'll never listen to, and half of them I love. And this song to me is like a fantastic slow psychedelic song. The idea of psychedelic, kind of creepy, tripping out, slowed down, which I love. So I'm biased, obviously. I love this beforehand.
Quick small tangent. What do you think of the Animal Collective song Bleed off of the Fall Be Kind EP? Would you consider that one of their slow songs?
I would. That's a song that I don't have a quick opinion on because I just haven't listened to it that much.
Okay,
I don't
that's
listen.
fine.
Yeah, I don't
That's
listen to it enough. Yeah, so that's not one that I think of like off of some of the earlier albums that I just don't like.
Yeah, that's a bit later.
Yeah.
That's post Merryweather.
But Safer, if you've ever heard their song Safer, it's like a 12-minute long song. That's a fucking slow.
that's a good.
That is how you do a slow psychedelic song. It's 12 minutes, so it's got some fast parts.
There's time to build up.
Yeah,
to
but
it.
that's how you fucking do it. But yeah, this song again, I love because it's just kind of slow and deliberate, creepy psychedelic song.
It's great. It's minimal, and most importantly, I think it's emotive.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I do think it's interesting that something that sounds so, air quotes, bedroom core, with a song whose lyrics are just extremely distorted beyond the point of recognition. Like, I don't know what the hell they're saying. I think it's interesting how much emotion this song can convey.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not trying to harp on the previous song, but like, you have this song by Skrillex and Diplo with very clear lyrics, which is, on its face value, is supposed to be about love and passion.
Yeah.
And then I have this song where I don't understand the lyrics at all.
Yeah.
It's very minimal. There's like 4 aspects to it.
Yeah.
Yet it feels so much more emotional than the other song.
Yeah, it hits you in the gut. No, I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, and again, listening to them side by side, it made me appreciate the About You even more. For that reason exactly, too. It just... there's something very just so deliberate about it. Like you said, it's like simple, and just everything is there to just kind of punch you in the kind of gut. And you have no idea what they're saying. It's like vocals in reverse or just morphed out. But I love this song.
Yeah,
great sampling of vocals. Fantastic ear.
Yeah.
For that.
I do. He's got an incredible, especially for someone as young as him. He's got a great ear for like.
Yeah. For sampling.
I think XXYYXX is a prime example of one of these projects that somehow made it out of this internet genre bubble burst.
Yeah.
He took all of the ideas and building blocks of these witch house vaporwave genres and like used them to build a strong foundation to build off of, rather than do what a lot of those artists did and just kind of quickly build something as quick as they can to jump on the hype train. He took his time and kind of slowly built a strong foundation, and it paid off because now he is established and here to stay with a strong discography behind him, rather than just like, oh look, I make witch house too, oh look, I make vaporwave too.
It's not a cookie cutter song where you just take a form. Exactly. He uses those out because not until you actually mentioned it did I even kind of think of this song in terms of like the vaporwave, even kind of in witch house. But he took those methods and made a kind of sonic statement unique to itself. What's it? Which I just love. And when the bass drops, which is the synth laid down. Again, I love that because it's here. I've heard this song so many times, but here listening to it really closely, that synth is almost like a kind of like retro 70s sinister, like almost like kind of campy horror movie. But it's just, I just love it. It's just a great ear. He's got a great ear for sampling sounds.
Good job, XXYYXX.
Fuck. I like, now that I know he's young, I'm like in my head like, I feel like I'm giving like my son a pat on the back, like I'm proud of you, boy.
Give him a little hair tussle, a little noogie.
I feel invested in his life all of a sudden now. Write him a card. I'm proud of you, son. Proud of you, son. Proud of you, boy.
Just out of nowhere, just proud of you, son.
My wife and I are proud of you, boy. Boy, there you go.
And with that, we can move on to our final track. I don't know how to say this. He said / he said. It's like parentheses S.
Z said. He said, she said, she said, he said. The gender neutral Z.
The gender neutral
Z.
One genre said to another genre by Titus Andronicus. This song was submitted by my close friend Eric Johnston.
This dude made us listen to a 9-minute song. Shit. I love this song, but fuck, 9-minute song. Jeez. You overestimated my attention span.
In Eric's defense, he said that he couldn't pick one song off this album. So he gave me 3 songs.
Okay, and you picked the...
He told me to pick...
Damn.
I listened to all 3 of them. This was my favorite of the 3.
No, this was a good song.
Dominic, you can go to hell.
But at first I was just like, fucking 9 minutes. You guys are killing me. Come on. That's 9 minutes.
Ain't no one got time for that.
You know how many Paul McCartney songs I could have listened to in this amount
You
of time?
could have listened to all of his audio emojis 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
This is off the Titus Andronicus's 2015 album, The Most Lamentable Tragedy. Titus Andronicus is an American punk / indie rock band from Glen Rock, New Jersey. The group takes its name from the Shakespeare play Titus Andronicus, a play which is thought to be Shakespeare's first tragedy that he ever wrote. It is thought to be an attempt on Shakespeare's part to emulate the violent and bloody revenge plays of his contemporaries. The play is set during the latter days of the Roman Empire and tells the fictional story of Titus, a general in the Roman army, who is engaged in a cycle of revenge with Tamara, queen of the Goths. It is Shakespeare's bloodiest and most violent work, and traditionally was one of his least respected plays of all time.
Yeah, I actually didn't even remember this being a Shakespeare play until I Googled it. Yeah.
I plan on posting this, but the band has a pretty great logo. Eric and I talked about this. It's very hammy. I can only hope it is humorous and then they're not being serious. I'll show it to you right now, Dominic. So their band is Titus Andronicus. So think TNA. The band logo is an upside down cross with an anarchy symbol next to it. And the horizontal bar on the upside down cross completes the A in the anarchy symbol.
They had a chance and they had to take it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I said, it's borderline cringeworthy, but it's also borderline great.
Yeah, that's no, I love it, man. Why the fuck not?
So the most lamentable tragedy is a 29-track, 93-minute long rock opera. It is split into 5 different acts that follow a character only known as our hero, a man who is visited by his doppelganger and goes through considerable life experiences and dream sequences, all acting as a metaphor for manic depression. The band's singer, lyricist, and guitarist, Patrick Stickles, described the record as a, quote, complicated metaphor about manic depression, melding elements of philosophy, psychology, and science fiction through the plight of one troubled protagonist's inner demons. Basically, we meet a fella, and he's very depressed. Sad guy, he doesn't have much hope about his life. But that all changes when he meets his mysterious, shadowy doppelganger who insists he is part of something special. An ancient race of human beings. This superhuman race has a curse upon it, and the reason that they're able to do all these great things is the same reason that they ultimately are doomed to destroy themselves. They're a self-destructive race that is dispersed amongst a regular population, and a love interest complicates things even more, forcing the protagonist to wonder, is he going to become a human or live his true destiny?
Wow.
The band has also disclosed a film element to the album and has thus far released a 15-minute music video covering the complete Act 2 of the album, and as of right now, they're set to release a video for every song of the album and make a full movie about this.
Nice.
Stereo Gum, American Songwriter, Consequences of Sound, and Spin Magazine all placed this album on their 50 best albums of 2015 list.
Yeah, I saw this on a lot of top
17,
lists,
24, 9, and 32 respectively.
Nice.
Yeah, you've heard about it a little bit?
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of friends that like Titus Andronicus. I've probably heard them, but not knowingly. But
Sure.
I saw this album on a lot of top lists. Yeah.
Tiny Mixtapes gave it a perfect 10 out of 10, saying the most lamentable tragedy feels like the Titus Andronicus record par excellence. It pushes and shoves at the countries of at the boundaries of what such a record could or should conceivably sound like. Pitchfork, who gave it an 8.1 out of 10, noted a 29-track, 93-minute long rock opera that immediately restored their claims to outside ambition as only a 29-track, 93-minute long rock opera might. This song, she said, he said, the band has verified actually through annotations on Song Genius. So they've actually gone on lyricgenius.com and verified the annotations to this song.
Wow.
So they've confirmed that this song is a recounting of our hero's one-night stand with a girl who is later named Sayoban. And at first he does not care about her. However, after some misunderstandings, he reveals a desire to open up to her about his depression and condition, which he refers to as the something. So throughout the song, the word something's brought up a lot, and it's this kind of depression, also specialness about him. But he's also worried that revealing this to her would frighten her. And the gender-neutral pronouns of the title are kind of consistent with the allegorical format of the story. That though these characters might be identified here as a man and there as a woman, they could easily be switched around. This conversation could be between 2 women, 2 men, or any sort of trans combination of both. It's basically just saying that you need to focus on the story and the plight of the characters. The genders are meaningless, essentially.
Yeah.
So You kind of briefly said that you like this song. What did you think of this track?
Yeah, I mean, this is the 9 minutes paid off. I was skeptical at first when I saw 9 minutes.
You're
Quite
safe,
skeptical, but they paid off because I mean, this is a fantastic example of how to not fall into one genre. I thought this song was like a fantastic example of how to like play with different genres, but just be its own kind of musical statement. Because yeah, I mean, at times it almost sounded like Black Sabbath, like just like old like the riffs and the drum and the bass line and like power punk, and then even got stripped down.
The main like through line melody, the dun 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 dun, like that's like pure Black Sabbath classic rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and that runs throughout the whole song, even in the softer parts of the song.
Yeah, even in the softer. I don't know, is power punk a genre? I don't know.
It could be.
It's like, because it has a sort of punk feeling to it, but it's just kind of driving, aggressive, angry. And most punk songs I know are like 2 minutes long. This is like 9 minutes of very impressive. So and again, the vocals were great. I have no idea what he sounds like on other songs, but it genuinely sounded like he just wanted to fuck something when he was saying, I just want to fuck something. Which again, that's a great way to have punk aesthetic, meet the kind of the form and content. So.
I was just corrected. The girl's name is pronounced Siobhan.
I'm American. Say Chevin.
It's an Irish name, I guess.
So
okay. I apologize to all of our Irish listeners.
Siobhan.
No, this song, it's crazy and it's great. I think some people might be put off by its length, but I love it, and I don't feel like it was unnecessarily long. I think they earned it with this.
Yeah.
I like that it's not all screaming and it's not all clean vocals. Like his ability to kind of float between the two really kind of add to the mania of the song in general.
Yeah.
And I think a band like this, at least based off of this one song, proves that punk isn't dead.
Yeah.
Like it still has the ability to change and become something new while still sticking to its roots. Now, I know there's probably punk purists out there that think like, oh, this isn't punk at all, punk needs to be 2 minutes, like but that saying, like, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like they're taking post-punk. Well, this isn't really, I think this is still punk.
No,
I totally still think it is.
And it's a very, very good use of like what I understand punk to be. And I thought especially like in the way that I doubt at all this is what the song they set out to do, but in a way it almost like contextualizes punk in a way that I've never seen a punk song like contextualize itself, because it's crazy, angry, driving, like I just want to fuck something, and then there's like that meditation, and then it gets really close, and then it reemerges like I just need to beat something, and like it's almost like the essence of punk, but it's like manic and like bad, but in a great way. I don't know. I thought the end, that was a sort of like almost like meta.
And I love how there's like this like choir of like singing in the background, like talking to himself again.
I love that. I love that.
And then like when it gets all quiet and there's like
an angelic choir. Like it was great.
And I almost like I said, like that Black Sabbath like dun 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 dun. I love how throughout the whole song it's almost like a variation on a theme, like it's almost like a punk rock Steve Reich in a way, where it's like kind of like this like reinterpretation of a simple idea in many different facets throughout the song. And I said, I'm a sucker for post rock. I love how quiet it gets at the end and explodes.
No, it was great.
A+ would listen again.
Definitely
is what I can say. Generally.
And I mean, I haven't heard a punk song that like interested me. I haven't heard. most punk songs I hear, like, I like as I'm hearing them, and then I just move on. But this is like one of the few standout punk songs I've heard that like I'll remember and that I would go listen to again.
Well, as well as continuing to check out more Titus and Andronicus, I would also recommend checking out Fucked Up. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but
No.
I won't say they're...
Sounds inappropriate, Jared.
Sorry, effed up.
Yeah, thank you.
I would say they are similar to this band in that they are playing around with the idea of what punk is and can be.
Yeah.
So, what would you say your favorite of the 5 is? Are, will be, can be.
I mean, the song that I've heard the most, and I probably will listen to again the most, is About You. But I gotta say, I was the most struck with the Unanswered Question. That was because I don't listen to a lot of classical music, and that was in 1908 especially. I was just, very absorbed in that complex tonal image. I was very impressed by that. That's like a 1 in a million kind of song.
Yeah, it's definitely like a toss-up between the Unanswered Question and He Said, She Said for me.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
almost
don't
like
know if I can,
apples
like,
and
pick between the
oranges.
two.
You got
Yeah.
to, though. You got to. It's
Okay.
the rule.
I'm going to go with... I think I'm also going to agree with you. Go with the Unanswered Question.
It's fucking
gonna have
trippy
to-
song,
it's-
dude. That's a trippy
It's such a
song.
trippy song,
Yeah.
and especially after, like, learning about it,
Yeah, no kidding.
it really makes me want to check out more of Charles Ives' music and
Read his book.
about life insurance
I'm gonna go
practices.
fucking check that out.
All right, that kind of wraps things up. Please, if you enjoyed this listener-generated playlist, continue to send us more tracks. I believe we already have 2 tracks going towards Volume 3.
Nice.
So if 3 of you want to send in more, we can do this again.
Send in some wings. Come on.
Send in some wings for Dami.
I'll take 2 wings.
If you
I'll
want
take 2 wing tracks.
two wings. If you'd like another kind of vaporwave, David Bowie kind of episode, which is like a curated playlist towards a genre idea, you can send in ideas about that. Or if you make music yourself and would like us to talk about your music, you can send that in. Also, send that to us on Facebook at facebook.com/shuffle, on Twitter at Shuffle Podcast, on Tumblr, shufflepodcast.tumblr.com, or email us shufflecastpod@gmail.com. Other than that, thank you for listening. And do you have any final words for our listeners?
No.
Okay. Bye.